Hello, this is Linda Mutch, and I'm back with Dennie Briggs, and we are continuing our conversation about channeling in the dream state. And Dennie was just going to share with me one of the specific dreams he recalls having with John when he's in the dream state. And you went where with John? You did what?
We returned to Paris, where we lived for 4 years.
So they returned to Paris, where they had, in the real life, lived for 4 years.
And we were out, I think, at the marketplace, getting, all the things that we did. And I came across an instance of talking with a vendor, and I spoke perfectly fluent French, on and on and on, which I never did speak. My French was terrible, but this was perfectly fluent. I could hear myself, all the French syllables, the accents, everything. I was thinking about your reference to the thought and the music,
Right.
because this was unusual for me.
So in the dream state, John and Dennie are together, and they're going to a market in Paris. Now, they had lived in Paris 4 years in real life. And they're at the market, and they come upon a vendor, and Dennie hears himself speak perfect, beautiful, eloquent French with this vendor. And Dennie says he could hear himself speak this, and in real life, Dennie really never was able to speak this well in French. And so this is not only an experience that he's sharing with John there, and they're sharing this together, but Dennie's also able to speak French in the dream state. Beautiful. So it speaks to the unlimitedness that one can have once one has learned to process, to get ready, to quiet oneself. So my goal is to quiet myself so I too can have dreams such that Dennie has.
Well, maybe you will find a different venue or whatever you
Perhaps my venue is my channeling, and perhaps my venue is to capture what I've channeled in writing, and perhaps this is Dennie's spiritual path, as I would call it. It's his gift, if you will. There are those who have different gifts, and we call it gifts because that's how I see it. It is a gift. I mean, it's wonderful that you have this. And I'm interested to see if it develops more with his brother John. And certainly we're intrigued to know whether John does communicate with Dennie in a similar way as John communicates with Dennie, because this would then be very exciting for Bob. Would really, really like us to know that he's out there somewhere.
Right, and what's even more fascinating is to see if John and Bob will communicate.
That's the other question. Will John and Bob communicate sufficiently to let us, meager humans stuck in our bodies, know this?
Right.
Will Bob and John join themselves together and present a dream to Dennie, when Dennie can have both of them come to him in the same dream? Or even will John give Dennie information about Bob, or vice versa? All of this could come to pass. We just have to keep Dennie here on the present earth for another 10, 15 years so we can get all this written down and documented, and receive information from you out there to start a conversation about the dream channeling experience, the experience of having an ongoing relationship, which is what I really like about Dennie's relationship with John. It's an ongoing experiential relationship, not just to give me information only. So it has its 3-dimension in that they do things together.
And it just obliterates this whole boundary of living and dead.
It does. Dennie just said it obliterates what death is
And what living
and
is.
what living is, because he's living a relationship with John, and John's not here,
It hasn't been.
and he hasn't been for a very long time.
Mm.
So the issue of time is raised a question. The issue of, we're not really talking about rehabilitation, reincarnation here. We're not talking about a past life here.
Mm.
We're not talking about any of the woo-woo-woo-woo stuff.
Mm.
We're talking about a reality that exists in the unconscious, or on many levels, multidimensional levels. And we're not talking of a limitation of time in the dream state. For when they go places or when they have experiences, that's in its own time too, because it's not something that happens here. It only happens in the dream state with Denny. We don't know if John wakes up from a dream state wherever he is and says, I've just dreamt of Denny.
Or even if he has a dream state.
Or if he has a dream state.
And that may be a whole new
That may be a whole different realm.
That's going on.
John may, who knows? We don't know that. But we do know is that this is different and new. We do know that one can dream, and one can include in that dream receiving information from someone who's no longer in body. We do know that Denny can have an experience with John. That's a new experience to him. The new experience being they go together and they land in Moscow. That's a new experience for Denny. And John's with him.
What's exciting to me is that the dream state, the dreams that I have are interactive. And I'm interested in the interaction. I couldn't give a whit about what they symbolize or all of that shit that's in the dream literature
Right,
and so forth.
right.
It just
No,
doesn't
we're not
matter.
talking dream symbology
It
here.
just doesn't
No,
matter.
no. What Denny says, the essence of what he really enjoys is,
Intrigues me.
that intrigues him, is the experience of it. It has nothing to do with interpreting what does this mean or what does that mean in a dream at all.
This new level of interaction.
This is an interactive experience that's occurring. It just so happens with someone who's sound asleep. And the person who's sound asleep is having experiences with the person who has died and comes to him, and they share active experiences together. And we're not worrying about whether rushing water has a symbolic meaning, although we do entertain the idea that there could be an element of unconsciousness, as described by Jung, the universal unconsciousness, which could be being tapped in by Denny's preparation of quietness, his process of quieting himself daily, dreams daily, interacts daily.
But I don't make a habit of it.
But he doesn't make a habit of it.
That's neat.
We're going to discontinue this now and have a wonderful lunch, and we wish you the very best. Now remember, if any of you out there care to respond, enjoy the YouTube, share your experiences. Has anyone dreamt of someone who's departed and who comes to them in the dream state? And if nothing else, quiet yourself so this can happen to you. I certainly am going to practice this more and get in touch with what I can. And that's it. Have a great day.